So I'm just going to give a brief overview of the GNAO1 International Patient Registry and further information for families who are considering participation. Knowing the importance of a patient registry, the Bow Foundation started the process of forming the registry in the summer of 2017, soon after our inception. By definition, a patient registry is an organized system that collects uniform data to help evaluate the population. There are a number of different types of registry, and the GNAO1 registry currently utilizes patient-entered data. The Bow Foundation team chose to use a platform hosted by Invitae based on the recommendation of another GNAO1 family and some other organizations that we've talked to. The platform has very minimal costs associated with it, and an open data concept we found suited our population's needs best at this time. Another decision that the team made was to pursue an IRB to further expand the usage possibilities of the data and to further protect the patients participating. With the assistance of Dr. Erica Axine at the University of Virginia, we drafted a research protocol and were approved by an independent IRB at Vera. Dr. Axine and the rest of the Bow Foundation Scientific Advisory Board assisted in drafting the GNAO1 survey questions. On the Bow Foundation's website is a link to the registry and a list of information needed to help the families prepare to complete the surveys, as well as responses to some of the commonly asked questions. Before beginning the survey, it may be helpful to collect a list of items that are listed on the website. These range from things like the child's gestational age at birth, findings of MRIs, types of seizures, etc. Yes, you will be asked to provide this patient-specific GNAO1 variant, so please have that information close by when answering the survey questions. You will be asked to complete the GNAO1 survey in addition to a seizure survey if you indicate that the patient has had seizures currently or in the past. There are also 4 additional surveys on the profile that you can choose to complete if you wish, but this part can be a little confusing. They're actually administered by Invitae to all of their registries across diseases, so some of the questions don't necessarily make sense directly for GNAO1. You cannot enter any specific details because everything is automatically de-identified to protect your patient's privacy. And yes, one of the cool features is you can see everyone's results as soon as you complete the registry. This is an example of what the patient's profile would look like. You can right-click under where it says completed surveys in GNAO1 and seizure survey. You can right-click where it says view data, and you'll be able to see your responses and others' de-identified responses. This is an example of when you click on that, then it populates this map, and then on the left-hand side it says completed surveys, and you click on select a topic, and you can click on each specific question and see responses. So this is an example of one specific question outbreak. This is the question, has the patient had a deep brain stimulator surgically placed for their movement disorders? If you actually hover over each line, it tells you the specific number of respondents and how they responded. So on this question, 6 respondents, when I took this screenshot, had DBS placed already. 1 was getting it in the near future. 11 of the respondents were discussing it with their providers, and 13 had not yet discussed it with their provider. This is another example of a question, has the participant ever had a seizure? 9 of the respondents said yes, they've had them, but not currently. 10 are currently experiencing seizures. 22 of the respondents had never had a seizure, and 1 was unsure. The GNAO1 International Patient Registry really is international, which is really exciting. So far we've had 13 participants from 13 different countries. We have about 70 families who have signed up and created profiles, and about 40 plus of those families have actually completed all the surveys. So definitely encourage you all to work on that if that's something you need to do. Your participation can help raise the visibility of GNAO1 and generate more research interest. Knowledge is power, and there is power in our numbers. For the families, this is an immediate actionable task to participate in further research efforts. For researchers, this is another tool in their toolbox to quickly learn about our patient population. If researchers are interested in gaining access to the data or families have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to me at emily@bowfoundation.org. Thanks, guys. Does anyone have any questions quickly?
So Emily, one thing that would be valuable for researchers, and I haven't figured out how to do it yet, would be to sort of get comprehensive data. It's nice to see each question one at a time. It's nice to be able to do exports and to be able to get which variant, and, as I talked about, we think the different variants are going to be different. To be able to get summary data sorted by variants. I don't know if that would be possible at some point in the
Yeah, so we need to talk to Invitae further about the options for the researchers, but I do have an export that I think that would be helpful for you right now. So we can talk about that. Thank you. Yes?
Once we file, can we update if things change?
Yes, you can update it, and then something that I need to talk to the researchers about is there's actually the possibility for us to add additional surveys and modify questions and add new questions every year. So yeah, the idea would be that the families would come back to it, and Invitae should automatically request that after a certain amount of time. But we're still working out some of those kinks with them, I think, as they build their system and enhance it. But yeah, the idea would be that over time, then we would update it and get further information about the patients. Anything else? All right, thanks, guys.